Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to this Super Sunday, or Mega Super Sunday with two games today. We've got Roma and Lazio, the Rome derby. And right now I have no visuals. So we'll see how long this one goes for, but on my end, the game isn't coming through. So you have to wait and see. I'll try and work some magic here to try and get this show on the road, but right now it's looking very bleak. I have to wait and see what I can do here, but so far not so good. But thank you for joining me wherever you are joining around the world. I know these Serie A live streams get more views from around the globe than we do any other watch-alongs. We're having a lot of technical difficulties here, a lot. We're going to have to work some magic here to try and get this thing up and running. I've at least got it on the computer screen here next to me, so there's that to be excited about, I guess. But I will try my best here to get this thing sorted. Of course, there's always some problem with every live stream. This one could be one of our biggest. But I got it on the small screen, if anything, so we've got something in this one here. I'll have the big screen to load, but let's go through the lineups for Lazio. Rovella, Ganduzzi, Della Baishu in midfield with Dia leading the line, Pedro, the ever-present, and Matthias Akanji, Nino Tavares, and Marusic provide the width in defence for those wearing blue in this derby matchup. Then we can look across to the other side, led by Cristante, the Roma side. As I said, I wrote it in the pre-game notes. Both sides lost last week and definitely need to bounce back in this one. Both look for a keen start to get in the front foot. Real stinker, this one here. Went for a good one though. Hoping everyone who's tuned in here isn't going to enjoy it as much as I will, because I cannot wait for this one to kick off. Have to manage a few things here. Roma has Selic, Indica, and Mancini at the back. Pellegrini, Stant, Soleil, and Ferguson lead the line for them today. A minute of silence here before we get kicked off. A great chance for me to fix this up here. Let us know your score predictions in the comment section as well, guys, before this one gets underway. I'll try and work some incredible magic here. I think we're in for a draw. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw between Lazio and Roma today. It's a minute silence observed, and we are very close to kicking this one off. Roman derby. Almost in readiness here. It's going to be a different live stream on the small screen. Provedel there on screen. The man in goal for Lazio, protecting that end, and Sfila at the other end. One of the best keepers in world football, let alone in the Serie A. We watched Roma last week, and well, they disappointed in that loss in the end to Torino. There is Claudio Ranieri in the stands. The man running this club from the top end this time around rather than the touchline. It's our first game on Super Sunday. Cannot wait for this one. We're not long away to kick off here from the Italian capital. We're underway. Kick off Roma in their traditional home strip. They'll be kicking from the right-hand side of the screen to the left. And for Lazio, well, they're in their traditional blue strip from left to right. A massive derby to be excited about. Good turnover there. And here come Lazio forward. Nuno Tavares' ball broken up. We'll get it back off Kone. Lazio with the home fans, the home support in this one. We'll look to get a good quick start. Look to stamp their authority and get going for minute 1. I think a bright start for either side is the calling card in this one here, especially in a derby game. It's going to be caged, going to be tight. Possession and big chance creation is on the menu for both these two sides. There's Mancini. Back into play by Wrench. For Roma, as I said last time, we watched them last week. Wasn't their best performance, quite weak in the final third. I saw it looked a bit different though. They played without a centre forward. Paladabala, a part of that side there. Matteo Solé was probably their key avenue to goal. He starts today alongside Evan Ferguson as two sort of central attacking options. You've got Angelino as one of the fullbacks, but on the other side it's Wrench this week. I mean, Dicchia alongside Mancini, and Zeki Celik gets a start this time around. Gasparini has yet to really implement his style of football into the Roma camp. So you know all about how attacking his style of football was at Atalanta, but hasn't quite corresponded across to Rome since joining the football club. It's Pellegrini. See to be fouled. Advantage paid. Solé. Evan Ferguson now getting away from both challenge and now Kone. Slip ball in. Wrench. Pellegrini, it got to the skipper. And to offside against Wrench again in the follow-up. But already a massive chance. As Roma went from left to right of the park. Wrench getting forward. The man that was introduced this week to the starting 11. Pellegrini just not expecting that ball to end up at his feet in the end. So didn't react quick enough. And there is Maurizio Sarri, the head coach from Lazio. Look to keep his side compact. Look to keep his side resilient defensively. And from there, they'll look to use the likes of Pedro, Dia, and Castellanos and company up top as the dangerous threats. Pouncing ball midfield. The referee now eventually calls for a foul. Evan Ferguson once again at the centre of it all. Gilaz, he's copped a stray elbow. Caught, by Evan Ferguson, and the referee's surrounded here. Is there a decision to be made with a high elbow? Clicking was protecting that area he was trying to operate into, and such Gilaz copped a stray elbow, and one that can very much be quite sore. There's a chance for Lazio. It's corner kick. They're making the major running so far, Lazio. Arguably, neither of the sides can come into this game with confidence nor form, but Marusic here will look to get this back underway with a long throw. Dia looked to be fouled, but nothing doing, says the referee. Tavares can mop up that mess and send her back to the goalkeeper, Provedel. I think we're finally getting the big screen. This is absolute scenes here. We can finally get this game properly underway. It's only taken 5.5 minutes. Again, an error. Okay. Maybe not. I went too early. They're going to look for Evan Ferguson today. That will be their main source of attacking threat. The big centre forward has been heavily involved this season, goals and assists. Always a dangerous option. Ganduzi just picking up a bit of a knock. Doesn't look in a good way, but he'll be good safe to continue. Dia. It's out of play, and it'll be a Roma throw. Angelino to throw this ball back into play. He'll go back to Indica. Roma will look to play a little bit more slower possession here, trying to work their way into the game like they did last time out versus Torino, but I think that the difference was they didn't quite kick into gear at any point in time in that game last time out in this same stadium at the same time slot last weekend. That's a push at the back by Cristante into Ganduzi. Marucci flicks it on the corner. Indica wins that one back. Looked to feed in Soleil, but head by Romagnoli. Advantage seemed to be paid, but then called back from the referee. A foul from Kone. No cards yet, but there's been some challenges flying in the opening 7 or so minutes here. I'm sorry, I don't ever see the comment section in this one because I'm watching it on my laptop. If you're joining us, we've had technical difficulties. The big screen, which I normally watch on, it's failing us. So we're on the small screen. We might be a little bit delayed as well, but you know that's the life of the watch-alongs, isn't it? Poor ball there. Nuno Tavares can clean that one up, and Lazio can get back in the ball. Provedel, Tavares. Well done there. Hit the ball. It's Tavares. That's a poor giveaway. Pellegrini on it now. What can the chance creation machine do here? And he's been fouled by Pedro, and Matteo Ganduzi's not happy with that at all. And he's gone throwing the ball away in his anger. And Helenio. Evan Ferguson with a nice sharp haircut that mimics mine. Kone. Great ball to find Pellegrini around the corner. Zeki Celik's whipped in ball. No one really attacking that one, and Provedel can catch quite easily. Oh, a foul there from Pellegrini, just a little bit overzealous there, and into the back of Rovella in midfield. Provedel not happy with the way the team played out from the back. Lazio need to gain a bit of control back in this one here. And they made the brighter start in the opening 5 or so minutes, but since then, better from Roma, better in possession. And here, breaking the play up. Zeki Celik won it back. The return ball looked for him. Celik wins it back, however, but came from an offside position, and that kills that counter movement. But Lazio playing out from the back poorly. They're getting caught turning the ball over, and that's not a good sign if you're a fan of those in blue today. Rovella will get us back underway. Great noise, great energy here in this Stadio Olimpico for this one. I was expected it to be the blue half and the maroon half of this stadium. Hearing it's over 30 degrees in this arena, so it's going to be a hot one, not only on the pitch, but with the physicality you'd assume that'll come in this game as well. And here we go. We've got the big screen back and we're back up to speed. So at last, I can join you guys in the comment section. And we'll just resync this timing back up. My gosh, I'm sorry to everyone. Elijah, I see you. And my compatriot Ferguson, an Irishman in the chat as well. Thank you everyone joining me. I'm finally back up and caught up to the big screen, which helps. I'll get this clock synced up to what I've got on screen. I am very sorry. We're finally back on track. A big win for United last night, Elijah. I was watching that one, and I was very, very keen for that. And Mean Memo, welcome as well. Welcome to everyone around. I feel like I'm back on track now that I've got the big screen in front of me linked up. You can actually see me looking at you guys somewhat now. You know what? I haven't missed too much in this game here. Been a real cagey start to affairs between these two sides, but you can expect that in a derby. Diar looks like he's going to be out here with some sort of injury. Thanks to everyone for joining us. While we have this chance to stoppage in play, and also I've got everything copacetic once again. I did go for a 1-1 draw between these two clubs here. Again, the heat will definitely play a factor, I feel. You always see players going down a slower style of football because of how taxing it is out there with this heat. But we have to wait and see how it goes. You got Diar here getting the ice strapped onto him, so that might be his day done. But a great chance for all these players to get a bit of hydration down them and just to catch their breath. Oh, sorry, it's Dele Bashuru is down right now. Bellahan looks like he's the one warming up with the touchline there, ready to come on to midfield. Dele Bashuru's day is officially over. And Bellahini will look to come on. I don't know what that ice pack's doing, but you see they're extending, and then yeah, straight away he's holding that hamstring. Right hamstring there for the midfielder. We're having more problems. Let us know your score prediction, guys, if you're joining us in the comments section. I'd love to hear your thoughts as we're finally back underway here. And Dicker will send that back to the keeper. And Providel can get us going here. So maybe we can get this game properly underway. Providel finding Marusic. Give it away to Cristante. Ferguson. Angelino. Marusic can win that ball back. The ageless Pedro. Ganduzi giving it away to Kone. It's real just pinball in there right now. No one can really get a real stranglehold in possession. You just feel like if you get the ball to Salah, you get the ball to Evan Ferguson up top in and around the box, good things will happen. Villa looking long to that Ferguson direction. Dealt with, however, by Gila. One back once again by Zeki Chelik. Had a really good start to this game. Soleil done very, very well. Here comes Wrench, cutting inside. Finding Evan Ferguson. Advantage paid by the referee. Ferguson now. Cristante, Angelino. Goes with the outside of the foot to a poor outcome. Diar holding off Mancini. And the referee eventually does call for a foul against the Roma centre half. Referee allowing this game to be played as much as possible, but in a derby and in these conditions, obviously it will be hard to do so. Great noise at the Stadio Olimpico here. Quarter of an hour into this one. Been a tough watch to start off the game, but as people who've watched Serie A often tell you, and as I will tell you here, slower starts can be expected, especially in a midday fixture like this where the sun's out, 30 plus degrees in Rome. Cristante's pass, well and truly underhit. Castellanos can pick this ball up. Tavares is far left. Now Rovella in midfield. Guendouzi now picks it up. He'll look to dictate in that area of the park. Marusic goes back to Gila. He can run away from Evan Ferguson. Guendouzi, Gila. Oh, and Diaz done well to get away from Angelino. Now Marusic. Marusic into Vela now. Pedro away from one. Pedro! Oh. Just over the crossbar. This man knows how to find the back of the net. He is the clutch man in blue. We've seen him so many times across the last 18 months. Bailing Lazio out. He got away from the Celik challenge, and on that left foot, you never know. Just going over the crossbar. But Lazio finally showing a bit of a sharper edge in that final third. And of course, it's the man Pedro involved. Soleil dealt with there by Rovella. It just feels like it's going to be a Pedro or Soleil magic moment to separate these two teams with the way they play their football, with how tightly contested this game has been so far. Here is Svila. Make sure, guys, to join me following this game. It was straight to the Premier League for AFC Bournemouth and Newcastle United in the evening fixture there. But all eyes on this game here and the upcoming 70 or so minutes. It's Matteo Guendouzi turning away from Cristante and clipped by the Roma skipper. Guendouzi wants a piece of cheddar given to Cristante, but nothing doing, says the referee. It'll just be a foul. There was nothing there on Guendouzi. I didn't see a touch at all. Guendouzi never really happy, isn't he? The Frenchman. So Nuno Tavares and Pedro over this set piece. And all the players seem to congregate on the edge of the box here. Tavares is left-footed in-swinger. The out-swinging right-footed Pedro. It's going to be Pedro. He lofts it towards the back post. Marusic heads towards the goal. Dealt with in the end. Kone picks the ball up and can feed through Soleil. He's got 5 blue shirts tracking back to cover him off. Away from one. Finds Kone. Now Cristante. He dallied on it a little bit too long and crowded out by the Lazio players. And a foul. Marusic in the end fouling the Roma skipper. It's all kicking off in there. Shirts being pulled. Shorts being pulled. Already a bit of feeling in this derby, as we can expect. Here's a chance from a set piece. Provedel in the Lazio goal. Have to be aware. Pellegrini and the short free kick. Angelino now. Back to the number 10. Zeki Celik. Now with Wrench. Really poor lofted ball, and Provedel will catch that and claim that all day long. Number 94 in sticks for Lazio. He rolls the ball out to Nuno Tavares, and can they get at Roma here in transition? Numbers are back well. Real lack of speed in this game, I think, is the key. You can't claim a lack of intensity because both teams have been going at it, but for a little bit sluggish, it feels like a 30-degree day type performance. And Dicker into the back of Pedro. Rovella, now to Gila. And Romagnoli, the centre half. Looking to find Zaccagni. He looks to turn away from Zeki Celik. And once again, Zeki Celik's all over him. And because it's a bit of a head concern, it's caused this game to come to a halt. Zaccagni down and another chance for a spot fire. And that's nothing in that. Celik's got his arm across him and Zaccagni's gone down too easy for my liking. The referee has to find a keen balance here between control and utter chaos in this one. Deli Bashiru has been omitted so far, but that's the only real action of note. And Helinho hits that ball high into the sky. One by Romagnoli. Well kept alive by Pedro. Adusic, Guendouzi. Into the Spanish Pedro. Now Nuno Tavares can roll it into Belayan. Tavares. Always rising. Never really much of a chance from out there. The wing back finally getting forward. Little give and go with the substitute, but the hit was always wild. It was never really on target, and as such, no real stress for Svilar in goal. We're due a water break soon, you'd think, but we're back underway straight away. Mancini, Wrench. Into Kone, and Wrench around the corner. Dealt with by Romagnoli. Mancini trying to pick his place and found Kone. Now Zeki Celik. Indica. Now with Svila. Indica's drifting a little bit further forward into midfield now, finding Angelino in midfield. This could be a chance for Roma. Soleil. Wrench overlapping. He's the far right. He'll whip the ball in. Oh, blocked in the end by his counterpart, Nuno Tavares. And it feels like Lazio have the answer to every single Roma question right now. Cristante into Evan Ferguson, out of his feet to Indica. Once again, there's no real Roma players up in support. Pellegrini into the feet of Evan Ferguson. He's crowded out. That will go out for a Lazio throw. Marusic now to get us back underway. Sluggish from both these two sides. A little bit more polish, however, from those in blue. For Roma, lots of problems. Still struggling to get the ball forward. Still struggling to put together coherent attacking movements. Dick has run it out of play and there it is. Time for a drink. Cooling break halfway through the first half. Chance for both teams to catch their breath. Good to have everyone tune in here for this Roman derby, but as we've seen the first 25 minutes, it's been underwhelming. Yet to really hit heights as of yet. There's been more action in the stands and with the supporting groups than has been on the pitch at the moment. Surprisingly, the Roma cooling break was taken much slower and more care taken to structure and to tactics, because right now they're really struggling. Indica Angelino now into the feet of Evan Ferguson, away for Cristante. Dia slid in but didn't win the football. Kone. Here comes Roma. Wrenches made a good effort to keep that ball in play. Back to Zeki Celik. Kone. Mancini now. What can Roma produce? It's gone far left here to Angelino. Headed into the box. Ferguson. One way then the next. For Angelino now. Back with the Irishman Ferguson. That one really lacked any sort of power. Real tame effort. Foul there from Celik on Zaccagni. Rovella now. Romagnoli rolls it in to Zaccagni. Belayan has done well and want to throw for Lazio further the pitch. Belayan, more of a technical player, trickier player midfield to oppose the real grunt and brute of Matteo Guendouzi's style of football. Diaz done well to hold that ball up, away from one challenge and the next. Now Zaccagni. Look at the dangerous attacking player produced. Tavares. Now Zaccagni. Zaccagni cutting inside. Zaccagni! Oh! It looked like it was fine in the back of the net if it wasn't for Svilar's touch. Across that became a shot and nearly locked it into the back of the net for the Lazio skipper. Keep done very well there to keep that ball alive and in and out of the back of the net. Pedro's out swinging corner, the right footer. Lofted in, it's a free header. And over the crossbar in the end. That was Romagnoli, who is normally very good for these situations. Surprising you get a free run at the football for someone of his quality. Some of his stature as well. That's a chance that's gone wasted there for Lazio. Good delivery. Good opportunity. But just unable to convert there. Another warning shot for Roma, who haven't really fired a shot in this game here. Ferguson's pass was very poor behind Pellegrini. Zaccagni now with the football. Finds Rovella. Now Romagnoli. Rovella now. A little give and go there. Dia has the football. Marusic now. Guendouzi. Lazio, one touch, two touch stuff right now. Keeping Roma chasing. And in a hot day like this on midday, this can be difficult. Pedro gets away from the Soleil challenge. Spaniard still. Zaccagni picks the ball up, cuts inside on that right foot. Tavares, heavy touch around Wrench. His ball in is not quite on target. Got a bit of a shunt in the back, but was enough to give a penalty, says the referee. It's that burst of pace that gets him away from Wrench. He was caught flat-footed. Angelino now. Pellegrini. And now with the skipper, Cristante. Looking at well by Romagnoli, but he's down. Big hit there from Evan Ferguson on Romagnoli, the centre half, and that can often lead to some serious injuries to the rib cage or the lung area. Ferguson once again throwing his body around, not being afraid to leave a hit on a few players wearing blue. He understands this derby. He understands the importance of this game, in particular for Roma, who are starving for goals right now. Once again to refine that attacking form, then the derby. Dicker, Angelino now. So just forward finds Evan Ferguson. He can hold off Yila, but in the end, Gila did well to win the ball back from the Irishman. And anyway, Rovella now, Marusic. And Doozy plays around the corner. Rovella's continued his run. Pellegrini has to track back. Rovella through. Rovella a chance. Oh, and he's drilled it across the face. It wasn't really a shot, wasn't really a pass. He was sort of caught in between two minds, and after getting it behind so easily against Pellegrini, had the pace, had the beating of pace, however. Oh, Zaccagni was steaming at the back post, but the ball had too much speed on it. Almost looked like he was taking a shot in the end. Massive chance missed there for Lazio. Especially for Rovella, who's had a great start to this game here. Kone. Indica. Once again, they got Angelino on his left-hand side. This seems to be the side they want to play down, where their best football is being played. And Rovella's down. He's no good. This could be another injury for Lazio. It's not good for the midfielder from Lazio. He seems to be very, very much struggling here. Fitness test, they said midweek, was a problem. Very strange break here. looks okay though. I don't know if this is heat related, this is injury related. There's a bit of a limp there for Rovella, but thought they won it back there with Cristante. The ball, however, with Lazio now the other way with Kone. Maybe this is where Roma can get into the game. Soleil wide to Wrench. Soleil again. Celik is outside of him. Soleil's ball and Helinho the target. Well and truly hooked away. Ravella's in some serious physical discomfort. You can see him almost jumping around, limping around the park. They're basically playing with 10.5 men right now, Lazio, because Ravella's heavily limited, limping and struggling to cover the spaces. This could be a target for Roma if Lazio do not want to make that change until half-time. Cristante's crossfield pass is horrid. It really is. And that's a play. Again, that's lack quality. 9 minutes for the end of the 45, plus a fair chunk of stoppages due to multiple injuries, multiple fights, and the drinks break as well. So we've probably got about 15 to 20 minutes still to go, and I don't think Rovella can carry on with his current state, but that's for Mauricio Sarri and his staff to decide. Tavares has got himself in a bit of trouble, and he may have fouled there, and it's Pellegrini! Go Roma! It was meant to be! The man was written off at the start of the season, told he had no spot at this famous football club. But in the derby, Pellegrini strikes, and Roma take the lead. And against the run of play, he makes it count. And what a dream start for Roma, what a dream for Pellegrini. His debut start in season 25-26, and what a moment, and what a play to score a goal. It's such an important game. You can see what it means to the number 7. It all comes from Nuno Tavares. Tried too much at the back. Wrench all over him. Won the ball back. It looked like he pulled him down. But Soleil, he knew the pass. He found the man. And the number 7, Pellegrini, the veteran. He knows where the back of the net is at the Stadio Olimpico. 1-0 lead to Roma. Well and truly against the run of play. But if those fans love one man, it is Manuel Pellegrini. The counter-attack, the counter-punches work from Roma. They're in the ascendancy as we approach half-time. And now this is a lead they can hold on to. They've looked solid defensively this season. It's been goals they've struggled with. And they've found that goal now. Lorenzo Pellegrini, the opening goal scorer. Angelino brought down. Ferguson. Cristante. Now with Soleil, the man who made the assist. Kone. Roma playing with a bit more swagger now. Wrench to Celik. Kone. Bundled over Badia. And a very, very silly spot to foul. And all of a sudden, Roma, one touch, two touch stuff, and that was quite silly for the Lazio centre forward. They couldn't do 2 in 2 minutes, could they? Struggled all season for goals. They could do the 1-2 punch here versus their rivals. We mustn't forget Rovella continuing with that injury. The flare set off in the away end today. Provedel looking to set his wall. It's Pellegrini and it's Soleil. Does the veteran fancy this one as well? Or is it the young, talented Argentine? Two quality options over this set piece. It's a discussion between these two. Looks like Soleil wants this. It is Soleil. Soleil! Oh, straight up Providel in the end. Had a good little height, good speed in the football, but in the end, too central and Providel caught quite easily. But Roma, all of a sudden, the momentum swung in their favour. All of a sudden, Soleil's pressing. All of a sudden, energy in the Roma camp. That long ball won by Mancini, straight into the feet of Pedro, who's been bundled over by Angelino. And a foul against the Spaniard who plays that wing back. Pedro, oh, it's a big challenge, isn't it? A lot of discomfort for the veteran. And he is still down. And a hot day, you're looking for your breath a lot, let alone being clipped in the chest. There's this goal from the Spider Cam. What a finish. Pellegrini. It all starts with Wrench pressing Nuno Tavares. He played himself into trouble, but the calmness, the ability for Soleil to see the target and find the target was unbelievable. Tavares needs to make up for it now. Floats that ball into the back stick. Dealt with by Zeki Celik. Gila. Back to his goalkeeper, Providel. Lazio will be kicking themselves. They had the three best chances until the goal. Tavares, Pedro, and company blazing over the crossbar with key opportunities. So it's all about finishing your chances off, especially in derby games. Here's Dia. Guendouzi. Marusic. Guendouzi again. Marusic back to Guendouzi at a give and go. He's away from Cristante. Ball in the box. Dia couldn't get the touch. Dealt with in the end by Roma. It's out as far as Gila. Rovella now. He's still struggling with that hamstring or groin, it appears. Better from Lazio. They have the speed. They have the players, you feel, to break this Roma side down. It's about a matter of time, you feel. Great flick around the corner from Zaccagni. Tavares, and then Diaz fouled. Mancini there off the ball. Seems to be a little bit in discomfort there. Mancini just pulled to ground by Diaz. He's lost his head there. The centre half happy to hit the ground and take the free kick for Roma, who were in the 1-0 lead thanks to their legend, Lorenzo Pellegrini. Ferguson rising highest. Romagnoli dealing with that. Kone twisting one way then the next. It's Soleil. Now with Wrench, who was the one who pressed to create that goal. He's going to win a corner off Nuno Tavares. A chance here for a set piece of Roma to try and find the back of the net. Obviously, it was Tavares that played himself into trouble for the opening goal. He will be kicking himself. Those wearing the maroon today will not be complaining. Ferguson, Celik, Cristante, and Indica forward. Soleil's whipped in ball, had a good little dip on it. Comes out to Angelino's missed hit it. Pedro. Belayan. And Pellegrini there with him every step of the way. And one back by Ever Ferguson. Belayan's giving it away. Cristante can turn. What can the skipper produce? Soleil. Lifting it up. It's Angelino at the back post. Angelino's ball in. Indica couldn't rise high enough. Wrench keeping that ball alive. Tavares now. 4 minutes of stoppage time to be played. Diaz ball flicked in the air but dealt with by Cristante. And Roma have the momentum. And Roma have all the forward movement right now. Angelino now. 3.5 minutes to go here. In stoppage, you feel like it could be a Roma goal. Wrench, the cutback. Pellegrini again. But he couldn't connect well enough with it. He was outstretched, and as such, it just lobbed into the hands of Provedel. If it was a bit better, the ball cut back from Wrench, we could be looking at 2-0 to Roma. They've just got their mojo here. And Zeki Celik's fouled there. And Zaccagni goes to the ground. One minute in to our 4 of stoppage time here. Thank you everyone joining us, wherever you're joining around the world. Hope you're enjoying the game and my breakdown or commentary of it. Good watch so far. It took its time, but as I said, that's a lot of Serie A games. Great little contest there. Kone's gotten away there. Belayan had to foul him, but advantage played. Pellegrini, Angelino now. Drops it into Pellegrini, the goal scorer. Kone, Soleil. Couple of give and goes there. Now with Zeki Celik. Soleil's in the pocket. He goes wide to Wrench, however. Celik has had a good game as well. Kone, Soleil, and Zeki Celik have been the standouts. Obviously, Pellegrini has the score. The goal, sorry, that makes the score 1-0. So he's obviously been vital as well. Soleil away from 2 challenges. Got away from the injured Rovella. Played in Angelino on his left-hand side. He's whipped in ball. Not dealt with. It's a Wrench. And Provedel had to make the save. And the flag's up in the end for offside. Provedel made himself big. Not the best finish, however, from Wrench at the back post. But the ball made it all the way through. Not dealt with by multiple players. Flicked on by Evan Ferguson. He had to get the ball a little bit more struck powerfully to beat Provedel. It was too central and too tame of an effort. And actually, it wasn't offside. Corner kick given. This could be the end of the first half here, you think. Soleil's whipped in ball. Another great whip. Flicked onto the front post. Rovella picked up Angelino. Let it go past and out for a throw. 45 seconds to play of first half stoppages. Roma started the poorer of the 2 sides, but they finished the stronger. Most importantly, they've got the goal thanks to Pellegrini. Ferguson. Angelino. Backward now with Indica. Now Zeki Celik and Roma happy to play out the remaining seconds of first half stoppage time. Wrench. Back now with Svilar, and that shall do us for the first half. What's a first half? There goes the whistle. We've been treated to a very, very good half of football. Started quite slow, started quite cagey, but that's a derby. But in the end, it was Pellegrini, all coming from Nuno Tavares, playing himself into trouble at left back, cutting one way in the rest. Wrench won the ball back, played the ball to Soleil, and he cut the ball back to the veteran Pellegrini, who slotted the ball home in the 38th minute. Lorenzo Pellegrini is the difference maker so far. 1-0. Roma lead their across-town rivals, Lazio. We'll go for a short 15-minute break. Make sure to join me back for the second half. A lot of exciting action to come. Remember, I predicted 1-1. I think Lazio will find their way back into this game. As it currently stands, though, it is Roma leading in this derby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Big second half in store. 1-0 lead for Roma at half time. That means nothing, to be honest. Because this derby and this game, I'm sure, has a lot more plot twists to come as we get deeper into this game here. Oh, that's me. You go for 1-1 predictions. I'm hoping that ends up coming true. It might do. Lazio made the greater start. Roma then got back into it. And they scored the important goal through, as I said, their legend, Pellegrini. But will it prove to be the winning goal? We'll have to wait and see. Second half action underway. Roma now kicking towards their fans at that end of the pitch. Lazio to their devoted fans at the other end. Pellegrini in well and wins a free kick. At half-time, some substitutions as well. Nuno Tavares dragged off for Luca Pellegrini and Cataldi into midfield. He just picked up the foul there for Nicolo Rovella. Seems to have that groin problem. Could have everyone joining us in here on a Super Sunday. Maybe a Mega Sunday, I should call it this week, with a double header. We're off for the Premier League next. AFC Bournemouth and Newcastle United basically straight after this. I'm going to quickly get some dinner eaten and then I'll be ready to go once more. Depends how long this one runs, but we should have about half an hour crossover. So make sure you stay with me here, guys, on the channel. And I know a lot of people watch the Premier League. We can sync up my commentary to the game. Ball whipped in. Out to Wrench. It was so important for that opening goal. Celik sort of lofts her back in. Flicked on by Mancini. Guendouzi can get Lazio away, but offside in the end against Mancini there. Those Roma fans will we be happier as we enter the second half. The team has struggled for goal this season. But what they haven't struggled for is to defend. They've defended very well in basically every single matchup so far this season. It's been fine in the back of the net. That's been their problem. But now they've got the lead. They can continue on. And that's a foul against Evan Ferguson. And I think Cataldi seems to be heavily involved in this game since coming off the bench. Actually, Gila. Not much once again in that. Don't know what the difference these days is from protecting the football versus fouling the opposition. But apparently that's a foul. Lazio would take it. They're back underway now. Provedel for them remain as in the goal, and their back line being changed with Luca Pellegrini coming on for Nuno Tavares. There is Dia. Kone wins it and gets fouled. Belayan nipping at his toes. Mancini. Soleil. Soleil still away from Zaccagni. Away for Belayan as well. Fantastic work from the Roma superstar. And Wrench passed. Came off Guendouzi and then came back off Wrench for a throw. And Luca Pellegrini will take this. Roma yet to make a substitution. They go with the exact same 11 which they started. Indica, Mancini and Celik at the back. Cristante and Kone in midfield. Wrench and Angelino are the wing-backs. Lorenzo Pellegrini's in behind the two central attackers, which are Soleil and Evan Ferguson. So you get to see many chances for Ferguson in terms of balls whipped into the box. Obviously really good with his back turn to goal. But I haven't seen enough of him in and around the box for my liking. I know we've got an Irishman in the comments here, so we want to see more from Evan Ferguson. Celik's ball blocked by Zaccagni and then hooked into the midday sky there by Mancini. Referee says to get up to Zaccagni. Kone away for one challenge. Now into the feet of Pellegrini. Soleil's on the outside of him. Ferguson in the box. That ball's gone all the way across to Angelino. Angelino! Side netting. And that's what a wing-back's supposed to do. Angelino getting high up the pitch. Getting on the end of that ball and to the box. And great chest control. Took a touch off Provedel, but I think it did. Gila wants the handball against Angelino initially. And it was a touch. It's going to be a corner kick. Important touch in the end from Provedel to keep this game a 1-0. But Roma doing all the attacking movement right now. Ferguson and Indica will be the key targets from this whipped in ball. Right-footed in-swinger here. Pellegrini in. Ferguson was there. Provedel did well to punch. It's going to fall out to Soleil. He can shield that out for another Roma throw. Wrench to Kone. That was poor from Zeki Celik. Out for a goal kick. And now a lot of pressure falls onto the shoulders of Lazio. They have to do the attacking. They have to make things happen here in this second half. And Maurizio Sarri's sides are far from the most aggressive when it comes to attacking football and being on the front foot. Both these two clubs really have struggled this season. For different reasons, obviously, but you look at the form. Roma, the 2 wins and the loss, and then for Lazio, loss, win, loss. Could be on track here for their 3rd loss in 4 games, which is not what they want to be doing this season. They want to be competing at the top. We all see them as a threat for the top of the league, winning around the top of the league, but this is no way to start their league season. A foul there. Bellahun on Cornet. He's been everywhere once again. He's been a real constant threat. And the cog that really gets Roma turning, especially in midfield. Especially watching the game last week against Torino. He was fabulous and has been once again here. In a combative environment. In a physical game against Lazio. Cornet. Wrench. Great footwork to get away from Guendouzi. I thought it was Pellegrini in the end who fouls. Great footwork there, and Pellegrini got a hold of his neck. Angelino now looking to find Ferguson and does so. And Gila just bounces off him. The big Republic of Ireland centre forward. Rolls it in. Cristante, Ferguson. Now Cornet. Into the feet of Pellegrini. Couldn't again, could he? Found nothing really doing there. Away comes Pedro. His touch was too heavy, and Angelino went in well. Indica can carry now for Roma. They carry the lead, and they're carrying the ball forward here. Indica, Ferguson. Away from the Guendouzi challenge. Centre forward finds Angelino. Now with Cristante, the skipper. Soleil. Further right now to Wrench. That pass poor was behind Soleil. Never really gave the attacking player any chance. Zaccagni put himself into danger and then fouled. An advantage played. Wrench down the far right-hand side. And has been taken nicking out for a corner kick. I just wonder if the advantage was really advantage for Roma. A free kick on the edge of the area. Might have smelled trouble for Lazio, but here it was here. Zaccagni just caught on it and then pulled down Soleil. I thought that's a real dangerous spot for a free kick, but the referee thought advantage was the best option. Now chance for Soleil. Left-footed in swinger. Attack the goalkeeper, puts it on his head. Soleil looking deep. Providel well out and caught quite comfortably in the end. That's a great ball. Diar's through. They've been caught at the back, Roma. Diar! Oh, he's placed over. I cannot believe it. The Lazio centre forward was through. All sorts of danger. Mancini caught out of place. Diar was too quick for Indica. And once you're 1-on-1, you have to do better. He's blazed over. It was an awful miss from the centre forward. He's had a real tough day at the office, and that really summarised his day and summarised Lazio day as well. Got until the final end product, Diar. It was Mancini who made that mistake, committed up the pitch, and there was a massive hole gaping between the two wider centre halves for Diar to run through. All of a sudden, for the first time in this game, Roma looked very, very vulnerable. They've been broken down by good Lazio play. That was just a mistake. A foul against Diar. I don't think it's a foul. It's another one of those ones similar to Evan Ferguson. He's got his arm out to protect the game. Yeah, Mancini went up the pitch to win the ball, gave it away, and then there was a gaping hole at the heart of the Roma defence. Somehow Diar didn't put it in. It's unbelievable for the centre forward. That is the best chance you'll get all season almost. Really poor. Really, really poor from Diar. Someone who I rate quite highly as well. Lazio have made changes, so he might not be pulled off straight away, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's dragged very soon for Castellanos to come on. Here's Fila. Now Indica. Roma, can they be shocked back into life? That ball to find Pellegrini. Looked offside. Eventually, the linesman waves his flag. What a missed chance for Lazio. They'll be absolutely furious. They've had 4 great chances in this game here. Roma, really not much to speak of outside of the goal. So it's been that sort of day. Take your chance when you get it. And that's what wins derbies. Who limits their mistakes and who pounces on the chances. Here's Celik. Now Soleil. Always tricky. Evan Ferguson lets that run to Angelino. His touch just got away from him. Angelino lost it in. Pellegrini rising. Zaccagni with wrench all over him. And here's Soleil wins that ball off Luca Pellegrini. Fighting well and winning a corner of Belayan. What a effort there from Soleil, and what an effort there from Wrench, who goes and pumps up those Roma fans in behind this goal. Now a chance for a set piece. Chance for Soleil to whip something in of some note. Those Roma fans ecstatic behind that goal. The effort, the intensity, the pressing in this second half has been second to none. Soleil's whipped in ball. Again, Providel comes and punches up into the sky. Dealt with Belayan. Angelino now. Comes up Belayan. Into Pellegrini. Great reverse ball to Angelino. It's lofted up. Oh, Cristante was there. In the end, it's him who collects, I think, Romagnoli at the back. Man, great movement for Roma. Better one-touch stuff in and around the 6-yard box, and a real threat come this second half. I think the goals just instilled a lot of confidence into this Roma side, into this Roma attacking play. Rovella now. Pedro. It's with Zaccagni now. We're going to skipper produce. Wrench back pedaling. Zaccagni going at him. He'll take a nick off Wrench and out for Lazio corner kick. And Zaccagni's turn to pump up his fans. Pedro now over for this one. Guendouzi, Romagnoli, Gila, all up there. It's Pellegrini on the edge of the area. It's flicked on. Kone dealt with it. Soleil's given him a lot of work to do, and you can see the frustration on Kone's face. That pass just wasn't good enough. Pedro's ball back. Celik just let it touch his foot and fly back out of play. We've hit the hour mark here. 1-0 in favour of the quote-unquote away side today. Pellegrini, the man for the moment for Roma. Mancini in well. Won that ball of Pedro. Here's Kone. Now Soleil. Mancini stayed up. He's continued his run. Soleil's found him. The centre-half marching forward and winning a corner. And he also wants to pump up those fans behind the goal. Soleil now over to take this corner kick. A great steaming run for Mancini. We saw it a lot last week against Torino. Wins the ball and then wants to get forward. Encourages to get forward and support the attack. I saw that corner. It looked much more dangerous. Goal kick given. I don't think Indica really got a touch on it, but the referee thinks so. So out for a Providel goal kick. Here is Pellegrini of the Luca variety. Belayan. Cataldi looks to switch the play and does that fantastically well to find Pedro. Guendouzi's made the run inside of him. Laid back for Marusic. And Svilar's out to catch and catch well. Lazio are stretching Roma as much as they can, but Roma covering off well, as they often do defensively. Marusic's ball was dangerous, but Diao was accompanied by Zeki Celik and Mancini. Pellegrini now, the goal scorer. Indica, now Mancini. Driving forward. And finding Wrench. It's a great ball across the ground. But Angelino just gave up the run. I don't know what that was for. Here comes a substitution. Something I expected. Dia making way. And it will be Castellanos on. I've seen it, Nathan. Unfortunately, I had to watch it at half-time that Piastri was out. That's ruined my day as an Australian, but otherwise, we've got a good game here. Who is Max Verstappen still leading the race, Nathan, if you're still with me? Romagnoli will clean up at the back here for Lazio. Here is Pellegrini, the look of variety once again. Cataldi back to Gila. Momentarily broken up by Guendouzi, gets lucky and wins that ball back. Provadel. Gila now. Dropped into midfield, and that's poor by Cataldi and miscued back by Angelino. It's had a rough last 5 or so minutes. Cataldi into the fit of Pedro. One touch stop to find Guendouzi. And he's just brought down in the end by Cristante. Still no card given out in this game. Guendouzi is irate. Look, that's Artem Dovbyk getting ready to go. Who would have thought we'd see him today? Castellanos. Castellanos off the bench. Straight up Villa. Max 12 seconds ahead. Wow. There you go. That summarizes things there in the F1. Guendouzi now can chance to turn and play into Castellanos. Has already made a better start than Diaz full 60-odd minutes. And he's fouled there by Cristante, who once again is fouling a Lazio player, and they ask for the yellow card. The referee's allowing them to play today, it looks like. Pull on the shoulder. That's always going to be a foul. Nathan, if you're still with, one more question. Lando still in 8th? Because that's a massive, massive win for Piastri. Here comes Artem Dovbyk. You think Evan Ferguson's time may have come to an end then. Pellegrini fakes. Cataldi's free kick. That was just subpar. Overhit and straight out for from a goal kick. Here comes that substitution. Evan Ferguson's put in a shift, but not good enough to find the back of the net. So Artem Dovbyk on in his place. Another man who we know through reports is not wanted at Roma. Illinois is not very happy. Here we go. First substitution for Roma. Off comes Ferguson, on comes Dovbyk. Lazio made 4 of their 5 changes, so opportunity to rotate for Roma. Lazio have their hands tied. Romagnoli to fit the ball back into play. Najila. Marucci. Long ball, Indicado winning that one and comfortably heading across to Angelino. Once again, to misplace another pass. Guendouzi wins it. Castellanos around the corner. Looking for Pedro, not finding him, but winning his own ball back. Castellanos has inserted a level of energy into this game that the Lazio fans appreciate. Belayan. Marusic. Guendouzi back to Marusic. Looking for Castellanos and not really dealt with in the end. Kone can hook clear. Now to Dovbyk. He holds up the ball very well. But Belayan wins that ball back. Kept there. Cataldi then just barged into the back of Indica. That's a foul. Cataldi again making a mistake by barging into the back of Indica there and giving away a free kick that wasn't really necessary at that point in time. And there's Kostas Tsimikas. He's come across from Liverpool to join Roma. Does make sense considering poor Angelino has been this second half. It's all sort of kicking off here. Players and bodies flying about. Back underway there. Zaccagni can find Pellegrini. Wrench in front of him. Pellegrini's ball comes off Wrench. And despite his best efforts, out for a corner kick. Lazio now need to lift their game. Time not their best friend at this current point in time. Across comes Pedro. We know how he likes to score in late moments. Roma leading the corner count 6-3. Pedro's ball in. Teasing towards the back post. No one attacking it. And Cataldi yet again. I don't know the reason behind that. It's time for the cooling break, so a chance to catch our breath. To look at the F1 as well. Just waiting for this cooling break to come to an end before we get back underway here, ladies and gentlemen. Roma once again, the slower of the two teams to come out from the cooling break. Here we go. It's the last 20 minutes. We've had that cooling break now, so it's all football to be played from here on in. Pellegrini stayed on the pitch. The veteran has been the difference maker. Castellanos is on for Lazio. He will be a threat going forward. I know Pedro, as I said, loves a late goal, so he'll also be a danger. Dovbyk on for Roma. Obviously, you know, Solé has been the man this season for Roma, been the real bright spark for them, so he's also going to have a eye on trying to add a second goal to this game. He already has the assist for the opener. Marusic. Provedel launching that ball high and long. Zeki Celik doing enough in the end to off-put Zaccagni. Pellegrini won off Wrench, but then Wrench got it back. So they tried to turn away from trouble. Comes off Pellegrini and out. Badanski and it's Pezzilli as well. So midfield and wing back reinforcements now. It's a goal scorer, Lorenzo Pellegrini, to come off the pitch. The veteran, the leader, the difference maker in this game here. Created by the Nuno Tavares mistake, set up by Matteo Solé and put home by Lorenzo Pellegrini. He knows his fixture so well. He makes way, Pezzilli on in his place, and Solé off as well, which is surprising. I think Baldanski will come on and create some danger in some wide spaces. Two of the more dangerous players off the park. Two of the players he linked up for the first goal off. But Baldanski and Pezzilli will look to try and make their mark. Fresh legs. Dangerous on the football. They want to try and make their mark in the derby. 17 minutes plus stoppages to play. It's been a tight old battle. From Magnoli, back to the keeper, Provedel. He just launches that ball high up the pitch in the Matthias Guendouzi direction. Castellanos has got the speed here. Mancini dealt with it well. Wanted the free kick, Mancini, but didn't get it. Castellanos has done well. He's done very well to keep up and keep it off. Angelino and kept it well again. Angelino, fell down, and Castellanos is pumping up the Lazio end. That's the passion you need. Guendouzi now, holding off Cristante. Into Pedro. We know he's got a magical wand of a left foot. Pellegrini. Cataldi was under pressure. Lucky got that ball away to Romagnoli. And Gila now. A great pressing though from Roma. Into the face of his Lazio side. Guendouzi around the corner. Angelino takes him out, and that's a foul. And you think it's time for Simicas to replace the Spanish wingback. It's almost kitchen sink time for Lazio. A goal now, you feel like if they want to win it, obviously if they want a point, they can take it all the way to the end, but they haven't really looked likely, especially in the second half. They've been the second best team. Pellegrini, that's a great looking ball. Hila, Castellanos! And inches away from the substitute for Lazio. Castellanos kept so close, cutting on that right foot. Trying to pick at the far corner and they're going narrowly wide. It does take a nick, I think, of Mancini in the end, which probably forces it wide, and that's a massive opportunity. Yeah, touch off Mancini. Fabulous sliding, outstretched left foot for Mancini to take that Castellanos effort wide, and that was a massive chance. Gila up the pitch, played the ball across to the centre forward, and it almost felt like it was bound to find the back of the net. Not to be, however. And Svila can go long. Met by Pellegrini. Gila up the pitch. Castellanos keeps it alive. Pellegrini now. Feeds it into Zaccagni. Bounded over by Cristante and no foul, says the referee. Great closing speed. Yeah, by Cristante and great strength. Captain on captain there. Angelino still in the park. Pizzilio around the corner. To Artem Dovbyk. It looked like he turned Manusic, but not to be done. Baldanski now. Such a dangerous, young, tricky player. Mancini. Foot came in. Dovbyk held the ball up well. Met by Mario Hila, who's had a fantastic last few minutes. And here come Lazio the other way. Pedro down the right-hand channel. Cristante out to meet him. He gets nutmegged by Pedro. Nothing to the referee. Advantage gets played on. Guendouzi wanted handball. Dicker's arm was behind his back, almost by his side. So I doubt it's hit his arm. And Pedro's down. Looks like he hurt. Cataldi now. Zaccagni. Guendouzi. Guendouzi keeps playing. Pedro remains down. At the moment, Lazio playing with 10. Castellanos. Going to press in Dicker. And a foul to the referee. I thought it was a nothing challenge. Indica thought it was a foul. Foul's what he'll get. Yeah, his arm's behind his back and by his side. Like I said, I don't know if you're ever going to get a penalty for that. I don't like seeing defenders defend with their arms behind their back, but he did that to perfection, so nothing can be given there. I did not do this on radio. Asan, I think the name. Or Deal. I'll go with Deal. But, you know, maybe the future Deal. So we're on the more movement on the bench. Pedro off. He looks like he's picked up a niggle in the latter portions of this game here. So Noslin on in his place. A player that I have not heard that name for a very, very long time. So Noslin on to create something more up top alongside Castellanos and Zaccagni, and Noslin straight into the game and playing head tennis with Zeki Celik. Indicas touched for Angelino, who somehow still at the park. Tsimikas has been warming up for time now and has been introduced. Marusic now. Lazio have used and exhausted all of their substitutes, so they have to go as they are for the rest of the game. Zaccagni, the skipper. Pellegrini, and that's a really wild ball from the fullback. And Castellanos is absolutely irate in the box. That there's not a good delivery into that dangerous area. It's about getting your head over the ball, controlling that ball into the box. Here is Tsimikas. And Elianoy as well will be coming on. So maybe time for Kone and Angelino's day to be run. It is Cristante. So Elianoy will come on for Cristante. And Angelino, you assume, will be off for Kostas Tsimikas. Here comes Roma's last two substitutions. Tsimikas and Elianoy, just to add those fresh legs for the final 10 minutes. True deal. They have disappointed today in the fight. Both these teams are quite disappointing in the final third over the season, but for Lazio, I expected more from this year. I know they're a bit at the transfer ban, but they're a very good side, led by a very good manager. Haven't quite delivered though this season. Underwhelming performance after underwhelming performances. Baldanski can turn away and find Wrench. She's done a very good job deputising today for the injured Wesley. Baldanski again can pick up the ball. Kone continues. A lot of space on this left-hand channel for Kostas Tsimikas. Straight on the pitch and whipping a ball in. Pizzilli rising. Baldanski takes it. Baldanski turns and shoots. And not far away. A great take from the youngster. Left-footed touch. Killed it dead. And the right-footed shot, well, it looked dangerous for a moment, but just kept curling wide of the mark and had Providel momentarily worried. Here's Noslin. He has those fresh legs. Cristante and Shelik have covered the most distance today. No surprise there. Those two have been rock solid at the heart of this side. Pizzilli. Dobbit looked offside. Looked to play the ball back to Pizzilli. Still no flag for the current time being. Noslin. That's a foul, you'd think. And finally we get our first yellow card, and it's gone to Indika in the 82nd minute. Great turn of speed and a mistake there from Indika to commit himself so early. Noslin knew the challenge was coming, released the ball, get the foul. Make sure, guys, if you're joining us, I'm live also in 45 minutes for the next game, which will be Bournemouth hosting Newcastle United. Massive game for Newcastle. Trying to get back-to-back Premier League wins. For Bournemouth, it's to continue one of their historic starts to the Premier League season. So, join me for that. Gasparini, absolutely barking orders down the touchline, marching up and down the touchline, wanting more from his side. Demanding more from Pizzilli in particular, looks like. 7 minutes plus stoppages to go in what has been a engaging game. A great derby nonetheless, despite the lack of talent in the final third or quality in the final third. But that's what these two teams have been this season. Teams that have defended well, played well in midfield areas, but just lack that precision and real sharpness when it comes to playing in the final third. MVP candidates, Pedro, Lorenzo Pellegrini, Soleil and Wrench. I think Pellegrini will take that honour if the game stays as it is, but shout out to Soleil again once more. He's been fabulous, and Pellegrini's just had a hot moment then to try and stop on Pizzilli in the end. My prediction for the Newcastle game, deal, I went 2-2 in my Premier League predictions video. I'll just double check that while we've got a stoppage in the game here. I did indeed go 2-2. I think Bournemouth very good at the vitality. Both teams solid enough going forward. It's about how good Newcastle are going forward in this game here that will make or break it, I feel like, for me. I think Bournemouth going as favourites still. Looks like, from the looks of it, you are a Newcastle fan. I'm interested to see your thoughts. Hopefully you can join me for that live game as well. We can share our thoughts on that one. Kone's done well there. Fed in Baldanski, who almost skipped away from the Romagnoli challenge. It's gone down. Red card. I don't know what the red card has come from. We've gone 80 or so minutes without a card at all, and then there's a red card. And it's all kicking off here in the Roman derby. I think it's off the ball here. Zeki Celik plays Kone. I don't know what happens there. We go off screen. Is it that challenge of Romagnoli, maybe? I thought he got the ball, but... Oh, it's that challenge. That's awful. Belayan lost his head. And that can end careers. So that's a very, very... I don't know if it's well-deserved, but yeah, warranted red card. Belayan's been, to be honest, pretty shit since coming off from the bench. And really has been one of the worst players in the park, so deservedly sends his day to an early finish. Starting lineup, but now it's Dill. So let me have a look while we have a look at the replay here. Pope Hall, Botman, Tonali, Malik Tau, Livermento, Murphy, Voltamite of it. Now, I don't mind the starting 11 deal, considering a Champions League midweek. The back line, obviously, you know, Malik Tau and Botman are great. Hall's good. Livermento is great as well. Pope and goal, you obviously trust. Lewis Miley's different. You're playing back 5. Damn, Burn. Yes, okay. I see. But Nicholas Voltamata and Jacob Murphy's a great combination. So that will be dangerous for Bournemouth in this game. Coming up next. But we're in the current right now, and that's Wrench on the right-hand side here for Roma. Cataldi all over him. Zaccagni keeps the ball alive. Lazio can play out now. Cataldi lofts that into a dangerous spot. Won by Mancini. Illinois' touch got away from him. Noslin trying to get away and Dicker across. A very good job there to win that ball back. We are in to the last gasp here for Lazio. Lorenzo Pellegrini's 38th minute strike remains the difference between these two sides here. I watched the 1-0 Torino win last week here at the Stadio Olimpico. It might be another 1-0 win for the so-called away side here. That's a poor challenge from Gila in the book. Kone once again taken down. He's been everywhere today. Big shout out to Kone in this one. Fabulous. Dictated the midfield. Soleil has obviously been fantastic in the final third. And obviously, we know about Pellegrini's goal. Those three have been the standouts, haven't they? This is a massive blow to those Lazio fans, this Lazio side. In particular to Maurizio Sarri as well, because I don't know how long they back this man in if results continue to go this way and the attacking football looks this blunt. Handball paid against Zeki Celik. Yeah, big losses there for Newcastle deal. I like the introduction of Lewis Miley though. Be good this year to see a bit more of him with Champions League football. Bruno and Joe Linton will be massive losses though. Combative and physical figures that can probably offset what Bournemouth want to do. So I'll talk about a lot more of that, in our next live stream in a little bit's time. The time being, though, Pellegrini's ball. Not really dealt with and all. Castellanos almost scored one of the craziest backheel goals there. Catching it mid-air. A little backheel volley. Last minute of regulation now for Lazio. For Roma, it's about holding on. Or maybe scoring a second. Pizzielli, here comes Dovbyk. It's a chance for 2. Dovbyk's touch was so poor, took him away from goal. That's a man that hasn't seen much football this season. Real chance to kill off this football match, but too many touches, and the second one was just poor. Took away from goal. 6 minutes of stoppage time to play, so more than the first half. It's about holding on for Gasparini's side. It's about sending everyone forward if you're Maurizio Sarri's side. Noslin. That ball nicked off his toe. Long ball sent up the pitch. Svilar doesn't deal with it. Was it a foul on Castellanos? I can't tell if he's rolling in pain or if he's rolling in disgust. He's missed that ball. Massive risk from Svilar. Kone. Bardanski was there. Couldn't find him. Yeah, these two Roman sides have not been great this season. But that's what always makes for a good derby. There's always something about two teams out of form just slogging it out. Here's the moment. I think Villa wanted the ball just to end up in the box. It just never had the backspin to make it there. And Castellanos, he beats him to the ball. Sits up nicely for him. He's got an empty net to tap it in. Cataldi looked for Castellanos. Baldanski flicks the ball on. Dovbik's there. Romagnoli wins the ball back. Guendouzi now. Minute and a half into the 6. Mancini's lost it. It's a cutback. Oh, Castellanos. Oh, then a foul's given. I think the referee allowed the ball to play, and then once he knew that there was no goal, he called it back. I don't think invisible, deal. I don't think Ferguson's been awful this game. The delivery's tough. You know, as a Manchester United fan, I know that firsthand that centre forwards can struggle when they don't get any supply. Look at, you know, Rasmus Højlund scoring his first game for Napoli when he didn't go anywhere near it for 2 seasons at Manchester United. So I don't think they'll challenge Villa or Forest. I'm saying maybe Villa in Europa League, but Roma have been very underwhelming in Europe, especially Europa League football as of recent years. That was the chance there for Castellanos. Ball cut back to him, but Svila making the save in the end. Deemed to be a foul on Mancini. Svila urging this Roma team up the pitch. They are a man to the good and a goal to the good as we enter the last salute now. Svila long in the Dovbik direction. Gila with him and winning that ball. Meeting Kone, he just hoisted that into the sky. Noslin winning that header. Pirzili winning the follow-up. Second ball, he hooks. And Marusic can clean that up. He just hoofs that ball forward. Indika wins the header. Elianoy now has space to turn. And if Roma can commit numbers forward, almost an even break here. Kone, he looks absolutely shattered out there. That was a man running through sand. Castellanos. Zaccagni looks tired as well, but he's got on the end of it, the skipper. What can the Lazio man do? Pellegrini. Celik in the way of that one there. Repelled out as far as Romagnoli. Zaccagni now again. Lazio are coming. They've got 10 men, but they're doing the more attacking work. Guendouzi now. They're coming together in the box. It's Cataldi! Oh, it's off the upright. Oh, what an effort from Cataldi. It looked destined to find the top corner. There's moments everywhere. The referee urging Marusic to stop the game. There, I'll have to check this. There's nothing there with Mancini and Castellanos. What a hit from Cataldi. Proper curling effort. Looked destined for the top corner off the upright. Inches, centimetres away from a picture-perfect equaliser. Gila is next to the referee. He says nothing doing. There really was nothing doing in that moment. Guendouzi's still not happy. Nothing in it. Chest check from Mancini, but if you're going over for that, the game's gone, unfortunately. 1 minute left here. Lofted in. Not quite fully dealt with. Guendouzi now. Got it from Cataldi. Guendouzi into Gila. One back by Zeki Celik. Kone can break. Pellegrini into challenge. Wins that ball but sends it out for a Roma throw. And that could be enough. Cataldi's... Oh, fine. What an effort from Cataldi. Throw, finding Dovbik. He's leaked forward here. The corner flag probably is his friend if you want to go that way. It's Wrench. Roma, that's about keep ball currently. Keep ball, you win this game. Zeki Celik. Wrench. Kone. Finding Pirzili. Look to the onside. The cutback for Baldanski. Baldanzi. Baldanski! Oh, they curled it in. And that's it. Roma win their own derby. Ecstasy for that side. Heartbreak for Lazio. Those in blue, devastated. But it's Roma's day. It's Gasparini's day. And Lorenzo Pellegrini, the veteran, the leader, the hero for Roma, stands up yet again in a derby and scored that all-important goal in the 38th minute. Looks like Guendouzi was sent off at full time for his remonstrations. But that is it. Full time here at the Stadio Olimpico. Roma 1-0 winners over their rivals. I'm going to cut this one short very quickly. I'm going to have a quick break and get ready for what is going to be a massive second live stream. It's Super Sunday. Actually, it's Mega Sunday. We're back for Bournemouth and Newcastle in just under half an hour. Once again, that one's going to be. Make sure to join me then for that one. Thank you all for joining me for this Serie A clash. It never fails to deliver this league. What's a game? What's a moment? Pellegrini the hero. Lazio 3 losses in their first 4 Serie A games. Until 30 minutes time, guys. I'll see you guys later.